lightning caused the mansion's vast shadow to rise up. Finally, the mansion. As the massive shape came into view, there was no silhouette of any person. It seemed that there weren't any underlings waiting for me in a pack or anything like that. According to Kyrie, there was a massive amount of attendants with goat heads. At least for now, I couldn't sense a large group of them hiding and staring at me. What's this? Beneath the roof of the entrance, there was something set down. What is this? A box? It looked like the kind of small box that girls often keep trinkets in. Or maybe it was the same kind of extravagant cigar case you'd keep in the reception room. Either way, it didn't look like something that should be here. It clearly looked as though I was being told to open it. But for some reason, opening it was being offered to me was irritating. However, it didn't look like we'd get anywhere if I didn't open it. Could it be that it's set up with some trap to make it explode when it opened? Thinking things like that and forgetting to even come under the overhang, I continued to glare at the box, still beaten down upon by the rain. Then, mixed in the thunder, was some kind of music? It sounded like that. It was one of the tone of the big clock in the hall announcing 2400. It also was a sound announcing that this insane day, October 4th, had finally ended, and that the much more incredibly insane day of October 5th had begun. That sound quieted. I could hear an eerie laugh coming out of nowhere. I got the feeling that voice was coming from the heavens, and I looked up to the sky. What I saw there was a woman I'd never seen before. No, that's not true, that I never saw her before. I saw her once today. Yes, in that portrait, inside the mansion. The clothes were different, but that face was just like the witch of the portrait. Who am I kidding? I already know who this person is! Are you Beatrice? Yo! Battler! From the second floor balcony, leaning out under the umbrella and waving high-spiritedly, was without a doubt the witch of the portrait, Beatrice. Was the plan of the boss to take a bird's eye view and let the goat underlings torture me to death? I adjusted my grip on the spear. I imagined goats creeping out of the nearby shadows and the entrance surrounding me, and I raised my guard in all directions. Be at ease. There is no one here but you and me, see? No goat furniture, no demon butlers, or teacher, not even the demon who's my close friend. And there's none of the gold butterflies that compose my flesh, no magic circles, and no summoners as witness. Do you know what that means? No clue. Quit babbling. It is true that I have met you several times, even in this world, almost as though we just missed each other. As you know, this world of humans is filled with a toxin just by your existence and your doubting of me. Almost like solid ramparts strengthening the guard around you, the king. And through multiple games, I have advanced pieces one by one, split them apart and cornered them, leveling your ramparts bit by bit. Then a faint crack finally opened, and I sent a bishop in so it could approach right up next to you. But as you know, bishops are pieces with blind spots. As long as you stay on the black squares, a bishop on a black can wield a massive influence. But if you escape with just one step to a white square, even if I close in the right next to you, I will not be able to touch you. That's why I have progressed through this game by sending in various pieces to prevent you from staying on a white square, forcing you out in front of me, the one who controls the black squares next to you. However, there are now holes open all over your ramparts, and I was able to send in not a bishop, but a full queen. Do you know what kind of piece a queen is? A rook plus bishop. Is that what you're trying to say? That now you not only control the black squares that are part of the illusion of the witch, but have been able to eat into the white squares of the human world at will? That is correct. You've been calling the squares of the gold butterflies that are my minions the illusion of the witch, and you have denied them as unobserved realities, right? I know. For that very reason, I have openly decided to the white squares like this. Do not worry. I'll call plenty of gold butterflies and goats, demons, and witches later. If you wish, I'll invite you to the Golden Land. There, any wish can be granted. It's starting to look like someone knocked an ink ball over the chessboard of this island. I see. A pleasant phrasing. Soon you'll be covered in ink as well. You'll finally become covered with a pitch black, and will surely become a black king. You really are pitiful, drowning in a sea of ink right now, aren't you? No, that's wrong. I'll admit that the island has been staying completely back from your ink ball, but there's still a white square left. Huh. Where? Right under my feet. Your ink of magic tried to cover the entire island, but it can't cover the ground that my feet are standing on. Even if this island seems to be stained pitch black at a glance, I am me. I'm here, stepping on a white square. It's strange. Until a second ago, I was shivering all over. But now that she's appeared openly before my eyes like this, my terror is actually less interesting. Ghosts are the most terrifying when you can only sense them. When you can see them and they have a face that you can plant your fist into. There's nothing scary about it. However, she definitely isn't an interesting or friendly person. She can kill me instantly by snapping her fingers or rolling around giggling. Whether we interpret the result of her snapping her fingers as magic flying at me or underling showing up to shoot me, it doesn't matter. Anyway, whether this is fantasy or mystery, that queen is in the position where she can kill me just by snapping her fingers. I see. So, does this mean she's the queen of this island, who reigns both over the black and white squares? Well then, it might be amusing to wait until you catch a cold in all that rain, but it's about time to move to the matter at hand. Can you see the box down there? Your test is inside it. Wait. After all that's happened, I'm not interested in some stupid game about who becomes the successor. My game is to take you and that damn geezer and all of you guys who killed everyone and smack them with Gian Punch. One of those face crushers. Huh. So you will fly through the air up to my balcony. Very well. Very well. Then look. Come on right now. Here, here. Up, up. Damn you. Acting so carefree just because you're in a completely safe place. I'm coming over there right now, so prepare yourself and wait for me. No. The door is locked. Of course the shutters are down for all the windows. My castle isn't so fragile that a single knight like you could break in. I tried opening the door to the entrance anyway, but it really was locked. When I looked around, I noticed the shutters were closed on the windows after all. Normally, those wouldn't be closed. Looks like you've prepared for everything. Where's the key? Goto and Kumasawa probably had master keys, but they were in a closed room of the guarding shed. I can only give up for now. Damn. Guess she's no fool herself. Do you really want to be right beside me so much? Alright, if you impressively pass your test, why don't I grant you an audience? If you pass, then you'll become the successor and my new master. My flesh and soul will be yours to do with as you please. For I am no more than the Ushinomiya family's furniture. Well, it looks like you want me to take this test no matter what. Okay, I'll give it a shot. If I pass, my first prize will be a punch to your face. Scary, scary. But it's not like I mind being controlled by violence, you see. Grab onto my head, make my face twist in pain, and tear me apart like a hawk does with its talons to its prey and scratch at me and trample upon me. Remind me of Kinzo in his younger days once more. That single time in my 1,000-year life. Remind me of that day I was taught the joy of being controlled, surrendering and being reduced to furniture. You damn drunk. We aren't getting anywhere. Ignoring that stupidly smiling witch, I picked up the box. Yes. Wait, oops. Sorry. Yes. Open it. Inside is the letter. Read it. I opened it. There was a faint smell of cigarettes. Apparently, it really had originally been a cigar case, but there were no cigarettes or cigars inside. Instead, there was a Western envelope with a one-winged eagle crest. When I opened that too, there was a letter inside. I looked up at the witch. She was grinning down at me. It seemed she was looking forward to seeing what kind of reaction I'd have to its contents. Damn, just perfect. Its contents were something like this. Among the 3 mentioned below, in order to gain 2, sacrifice 1. 1, your life. 2, blank's life. 3, everyone else's lives. If you do not choose one, all the above will be lost. What's this? Some pretty creepy stuff's written here. More importantly, the second one's blank, so I don't even know what life it's supposed to be.
Indeed. That second one is where you put the name of the ones test taker loves the most. For Jessica's test, it was Canon's name, and for George's test, it was Shannon's. Since they had obvious feelings for certain people, those names were written there beforehand. But I don't know whom you have feelings for, so I didn't know what was named to write and left it blank.
That's perfect! I love you, Beatrice. I'll stick your name in there. And in that case, I'll choose the second choice. Happy now?
Hey, quit joking. Hey, please, battler. Tell me the name of the person you have feelings for. If you don't, then this won't be a test, right?
Sorry, I don't have any girl in particular. Even if I did, why the hell would I tell you?
In that case, this test will not work for you. What a shame. And I was really wondering what kind of woman was your cup of tea.
What would you do if I said I like flat-chested lollies with long black hair? That wouldn't match you at all, right?
Lies, you breast Somalia. Blonde and bouncy is the best, right? Am I not truly the embodiment of your ideal?
If guessing your 3 sizes of the test becoming the assessor, I'll take it gladly. I might actually side with that.
Ah, yes. This is the test to choose the successor, wasn't it? It was so fun chatting with you that I've been getting a bit off topic. Then, let's begin the test. I will question you to see whether you are qualified to be the successor to the Ushinomiya family headship. Answer with care.
The witch, who had been joking around like she was drunk until a second ago, suddenly regained her dignity. She looked as though she truly had stepped out of that majestic portrait.
I am the Ushinomiya family alchemist, the Golden Witch, and the Endless Witch Beatrice. Do you have the qualifications to inherit the Ushinomiya family and all of my gold? That is what I will test. State your name.
Ushinomiya Battler. When faced with dignity you couldn't have imagined from her appearance a short while ago, I answered without any hesitation. And from that, yes, I see. I can tell why she's worthy of calling herself the true queen of this island.
Very well, Ushinomiya Battler. However, for these 6 years, you have thrown away that Ushinomiya name, have you not? Why was that?
Because I ran out of love for that old bastard.
I know. It was because you felt your father's remarriage disgraced the death of your mother, whom you respected, yes. I see you have no blood relations to your new mother whatsoever. It's not as though I can't understand why you'd be unable to accept that mother. However, no matter whom your father remarried, that wouldn't change the fact that his blood runs in your veins, correct?
What are you trying to say?
I can somewhat understand the childishness that led you to resist your father's remarriage, since you wanted him all to yourself. However, was throwing away the Ushinomiya name as a means of resistance not a disgrace to your family and blood? You were born and raised Ushinomiya, were you not? Do you think that you had the right to forget that debt and throw away the Ushinomiya name?
It's got nothing to do with you. This is between me and Dad.
The Ushinomiya name does not belong to you and your father alone. That was your childishness. Nothing more than your inability to forgive the fact that your father was stolen away by an unknown woman. Those 6 years during which you threw away the Ushinomiya family register were a significant period during which you covered the Ushinomiya family name in mud. Know the depths of that sin.
Well, sorry I'm so childish.
However, even though it occurred around the time of the deaths of your grandparents, you did well to return to the Ushinomiya register. For that, let's give you a chance to purify that sin yourself. Now is the time to compensate for your sin of 6 years ago. Come, try to remember. Remember your own sin. Remember that, confess, and repent. That is the test I shall give you.
At that time, a massive thunderclap rang out, making my mind go blank. What do you mean, repent? Are you trying to tell me to apologize?
The test has already begun. You may think as you wish.
The witch's expression did not look like a person forcing a tough question on someone and sneering at them. She was asking seriously. He could even sense a quiet determination. Even though the rain fell on Balor, he did not shift his eyes from that gaze. The witch threw her umbrella away. She abandoned herself to the falling rain, so the rain would fall on her until Balor answered that question. She had chosen to let the rain fall on her as well, until he had reached an answer. For some reason, Balor understood that, and yet he didn't understand. Well, if you put it that way, I do think I was being childish. All things considered, even Dad getting remarried didn't cancel out the debt I owe for him raising me. I hear that Dad always kept on paying for my living expenses, and that he even said he wanted to participate in school events. The only reason he couldn't come was because I told Grandpa and Grandma not to let him come no matter what. It's true that I can't argue back if you want to call that my childish resistance, but you know, in that case, who would clear away Mom's Ushinomiya Asamu's regrets? Even though Mom was so devoted to our family and did the very best she could. Despite that, Dad was cheating with Kyrie. He even got her pregnant with Angie. And then, along with her birth, he rushed to move him into his register. If that wasn't a betrayal of Mom, then what was it? Who will clear up Mom's regrets? But what you're saying is also right. Even though the cheating was a fact, the debt I owe for being raised was real too. In that case, they cancel each other out, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with me leaving the family, is there? That's right, I had the right, no, the duty to smack Dad and Mom's place, didn't I? But I didn't do that! I left without saying anything as though I hadn't been there in the first place, and Dad forgot all about me and started a new family with Kyrie and Angie. Doesn't that sell everything? But since then, 6 years have passed. Time healed the anger. Kyrie understood my anger, and even so, she tried to interact with me, even if it meant tearing her heart apart. And she didn't know anything about the situation, and even though I lived in a separate house, she was raised believing that I was her real big brother and loved me as if it were true. Dad casually said to come home anytime I wanted. It started to feel more and more ridiculous. I thought it was about time for me to cool my head as well, so I said I'd put it all behind me as long as Dad apologized. And then came to the day of Grandpa's funeral. And then he really did put his hands on the floor and apologize, looking unbelievably pathetic. Dad did that and seriously bowed his head to me, you see? But when I saw that, it felt like it'd be stupid to keep it up any longer. I'm sure Mom thought the same thing. Every time Dad and I fought, Mom would always laugh and mediate for us. Oh, you were fighting over something that silly? Is what she'd say. I would feel Mom say that and laughing. So, though I couldn't actually say I'd forgive him, I thought it might be okay to start over again from square one. So I decided to wind everything back to how it was 6 years ago. And then I returned to the Ushinomiya family register. I also cried and raged and worried for a whole 6 years. It might have been the same for Dad, for my dead mom, maybe even for Kyrie and Angie. So we went back to square one and I returned to being Ushinomiya battler. That's my immediate family's problem. And it has nothing to do with the Ushinomiya family. You have no right to judge that as a sin. I have no obligation to show repentance to you. If there was anyone I should have done that for, you already killed them! So I won't apologize for anything! I won't repent! That's my answer for this test!
Is that all?
What?
Part of me had fully responded to her provocation. I supposedly vented out all the stuff I kept inside my chest, stuff I hadn't wanted to show anyone. That was the part the witch had supposedly been expecting, and yet the witch's blank expression didn't change in the slightest. I'd been sure she'd start cackling and guffawing, sneering at my childish and foolish and shameful past, but to the contrary, I could feel a sense of disgust about her, something you could almost call disappointment.
What do you mean, is that all? I've exposed everything about me, right? What more could you want?
That still isn't enough to clear away your sins.
Clear away? What the hell are you asking me to prostrate myself right here and apologize like Dad did?
That's not it. I have no interest in matters concerning your immediate family or your home. Where are we? Rokkenjima, the main residence of the Ushinomiya family head. Is there any sin you ought to remember fitting for this place?
Are you saying that I have another sin?
Remember, Ushinomiya battler. Not being able to remember, that is your sin. For that reason, I shall forgive you. If you can remember it, I shall forgive you. Remembering that is a test of my atonement for you.
Even if you tell me to remember...
Remember, that's what makes it a sin.
Sorry, Beto. I have absolutely no memory of it. You make it sound like I caused you trouble 6 years ago or something, but I supposedly met you for the first time at this family conference. It's true that your legend also existed 6 years ago, but I shouldn't have been acquainted with you.
Naturally. On Rokkenjima of 6 years ago, I had not yet materialized.
Then what kind of sin are you saying that I have? Are you saying that I've sinned against you somehow?
Don't make me say the same thing twice. I had not materialized 6 years ago. There was no way for me to become acquainted with you. In a world that you are, it was as though I didn't exist.
Beato's cold eyes felt as though they were pursuing some kind of sin. At a glance, it felt as though she still hated me for something I'd done to her, and that she blamed me for it. However, I naturally didn't have a clue, and Beato had said it herself. 6 years ago, there was no link between us. 6 years ago, no person called Beatrice existed for me. At least give me a hint. Does this sin have anything to do with you and me?
I had no connection to you 6 years ago. Remove me from your thoughts already. Why do you think it is a sin against me?
Your eyes.
My eyes?
Because your eyes are whispering at me to apologize. But I had no connection with you 6 years ago, and it looks like you acknowledge that too. Is that true? Is it really not a problem between me and you?
I already said that it wasn't. No problem between me and you has anything to do with this.
But still, your eyes are telling me differently, so I don't even have a clue. Can you say it in red? Can you proclaim the sin that you're telling me to remember isn't something between you and me?
Very well. The sin I am now demanding that you remember is not between Ushinomiya Battler and Beatrice.
Then, why are you looking at me with those eyes?
I don't know. I am simply gazing at you blankly, if it feels that way to you. Perhaps there's something making you feel that way.
What kind of sin are you saying I have?
Ushinomiya Battler has a sin.
And I'm asking you what kind. I bet it's just some trivial sin like hitting someone or tricking someone.
Because of your sin, people die.
Liar! I never kill anyone! Then say it! Who did I kill? When? Who? How?
Due to your sin, a great many humans on this island die. No one escapes. All die.
What? What kind of incomprehensible thing are you saying? Are you saying I killed everyone?
doesn't mean you carried it out directly. However, because you committed a sin from an imperfection the cause that stretched back a full 6 years, a distortion was created. And tonight, this many lives are lost. You are one of the causes of this tragedy.
Quit messing around! I'm the cause? Then what? Are you saying 13 people died because I banned the Ushinomiya register 6 years ago? Are you saying that 13 people died because I came back to the Ushinomiya family after 6 years? Don't fuck with me! Give it a rest! For these 6 years, I've been the man farthest from the Ushinomiya family, right? How could I have influenced anything in any way? It's not like I came to the family conference because I wanted to, right? I returned to my family after 6 years to make up for that lost time. I came to Rokujima reluctantly. It's not like I had some duty to come here today. I came back and because of that a massacre occurred? Then what? Are you saying that if I hadn't come back, no one would have had to die? Say it in red! Can you say it in red? If I hadn't come back, this massacre crime wouldn't have occurred? There's no way you can say it because you're the culprit for everything! Repeat it! If Ushinomiya Battle hadn't returned to Rokujima, this crime wouldn't have occurred. If you can say it, try saying it! Can you do it? You can't, can you? You can't say it, the culprit's you, not me! Don't try to run that responsibility off onto me! Answer it in red! Try to repeat it! You can't! My existence has nothing to do with the crime! Quit saying incomprehensible stuff and trying to confuse me! I began to remember the coldness of the raindrops that kept pounding down. The rain earlier had just hurt, but now I felt a tormenting cold from those raindrops.
Is there nothing that you remember?
Sorry. I don't even have a clue. Hey, I'm starting to get a little pissed off. If there's something you want to say, then say it. If you have a grudge against me, you just have to say it out loud. You're doing such a dirty way forcing me to remember.
I'll ask one more time. Can you remember any sin?
No! I can't remember anything!
So, he says that he can remember nothing.
With this, are your regrets at an end?
Indeed.
Even a hopeless bet can leave behind regrets if you do not take it. That's enough. The betting itself has meaning.
That may be true. In that case, this is the end of my regrets and my game.
What will you do?
Who knows? I'm not interested at all anymore. Sorry, but I wish to leave the game board now.
I see. I understand.
I will take over for the rest of the game. You may rest. Indeed. All that remains I will finish. You may forget everything and bury your head in your pillow. A feather futon should gently protect you from everything. I'll be counting on you to finish up the rest. Leave it to me. Leave everything else to me and sleep.
The witch who had questioned Battler hid herself, and the other witch who had appeared from behind remained. She certainly was identical, the same witch, but her expression was somehow indifferent and ice-cold, completely removed from the one who, despite seeming drunk up until then, had been in high spirits. Hey! Are you listening? Isn't it enough of that test thing? I don't care whether I passed or failed. I won't be satisfied until I bash your face. Come down here, or else open this door! The witch did not answer. Her eyes were as ice-cold as Battler's shoulders. She was now a clearly different person since the time she first appeared on that balcony. The witch gazed into my eyes and gave 2 small shakes of the head. Even without words, I was able to gather that she was expressing some kind of disappointment. Without saying anything, the witch turned on her heels. After that, only Battler remained, the cold rain still beating on him. study was in the middle of a lively party. It seemed that Gap was making fun of Virgilia, having tripped her up in some stupid way. They were spitting Lia 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 and Gap 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 at each other. With this as a sideshow, Kinzo and Renove had opened a new bottle.
Oh, you're back! How were the results of Balor's test? Maria's test got passing marks with no complaints, you see? I despised her as a little girl, but see, why? Oh my, not bad.
It seemed like Kinzo was dead drunk. Facing Beto, who had returned, he laughed with the same level of tension as the time they'd left for the tests. However, Renove and Virgilia instantly noticed a change in enthusiasm. Gap also froze her expression and went silent.
What is it, Beatrice, my beloved witch? Not enough to drink? Not enough on the side? Let's pour it all over a cow or something and roast it all. Oh, not bad. Renove, prepare one right away. Beatrice, let's leave the results of Balor's test for later. Why don't we have a toast with a spare rib first?
Roast yourself whole. What? The witch who had spoken bluntly, coldly, passed by Kinzo's side as he doubled over laughing in a great mood. Then behind the witch's back, the old summoner's body suddenly went up in flames.
Why?
As crimson flames spat from his eyes, mouth, and nose, every hole on his body, Kinzo rolled around. Even though it was a terrible hellfire, it didn't burn anything except Kinzo. Kinzo didn't have a clue what was going on, unable to understand why Beatrice, who had been in such a good mood, had suddenly turned around so cold he rolled around. The dancing silhouette of the witch and the demons created that massive rolling torch. Looked like a group of excited spectators around it burning at the stake. However, the eyes of the demons who watched over it were indifferent.
So long, Grandpa. I don't have to rip apart my voice to read it like that anymore.
Except when... never mind. When Kinzo finally stopped moving, the fire disappeared, leaving a pitch-black corpse. The inside of the room was commanded by the stillness of the sound of the rain. What has happened, lady? I've gotten over my excitement. Clean up those bothersome cinders. Beatrice's expression was unbelievably different. Wait. Let's try that again. Beatrice's expression was unbelievably indifferent. There was an iciness that might easily bring the others to the same fate as Kinzo if they annoyed her. Yes, I will clean it up. Gap made a jet black pitfall and swallowed up Kinzo's cinders. If she hadn't carried that out quickly, Gap might have also been burned. You could even feel that thirst for blood. No, a thirst for blood probably isn't the best way to describe it. Just like humans don't have any particular emotion when they step on an ant when they're walking. That was how much unconsciously and mercilessly Beato was now filled with a brutal emptiness that wouldn't hesitate at burying a passerby. What is it, Beato? I don't want to answer. No, even answering is too much of a pain to do now. What is it? This isn't like you. Did something happen? Did Balor say something? Uh-oh. She's Beatrice didn't even answer. It seemed she even ignored it. But there was a change in Gap. From her feet, a creaking, cracking sound rose like a thin ice breaking, and in an instant turned Gap into a glass sculpture. Oh, just like Angie denying the seven sisters of purgatory. Gap! Disappear for a while. I'm in a very bad mood. Beatrice spoke that, in a truly cold voice which could freeze up the heart just by hearing it. Certainly. Then please allow us to retire. If you need anything, call at any time. After bowing, Renove turned into a cloud of gold butterflies and hid himself. After turning Gap, who had become a sculpture, into a cloud of gold butterflies,
Regalia also turned into a cloud, which mixed in with the others and disappeared. In the study made untidy by the drinking, Beatrice stood still alone. Since the time she had returned, her expression hadn't changed in the slightest. However, when she saw the fallen empty wine bottles and scattered cheese plates, her brow furrowed. She looked a bit displeased. And when she whispered disappear in that instant, the room was cleaned up in a flash as though nothing had happened. The reception chairs were neatly arranged. There was no wine or cheese. There were no stains or scattered trash either. To the contrary, even the air had frozen over, and enough to make one doubt whether a large number of noisy people really had been in this room until a short while ago. The study had returned to silence. In that silent, frigid study, where even the air had frozen, Beatrice stood still. Then she called, muttering,
Battler, are you there?
I've been here for a while. What the hell's going on with you? You've been strange since a short while ago.
Do I seem strange? My apologies.
Even though you were drinking so happily with that damn geezer, you suddenly burned him up. And your demoness friend is a glass sculpture. You told the demon butler and your teacher to leave. They disappeared right away at your words. Just how fickle and selfish are you?
Battler, I'm done.
Done with what?
I've grown bored of this.
Huh? Well, you were the one who started the game. If you had enough, that's great for me. So basically you're giving up?
I'm not giving up. I'm simply ending it. No, I won't even end it. I'm just abandoning this game for all eternity.
Doesn't that mean you're giving up? Nah, the words got bored of it and threw it away. Fit you perfectly.
That is correct. I grew bored of it, and I'm throwing it away. I don't care what happens next. It can remain abandoned and gather dust as much as you like.
What's going on with you? You've been kind of hard to deal with since a short while ago. Are these the after effects of that incomprehensible test from earlier? If you got a grudge, all you got to do is say so clearly. You said it in red that has nothing to do with you, but that's gotta be a play on words, right? It's written all over your face. You have a grudge against me.
How many times will I have to say I have no grudge against you before you'll understand? At the time you committed your sin, I did not exist.
As Beato spoke with an offended expression, her face twisted to look even more displeased. Fickle, inconsistent, moody, temperamental, selfish and simple-minded and cruel. But even so, she hadn't shown an expression as strange as even this until now. Well, you were the one who provoked me into this game. I'm a bit let down it wasn't resolved, but feel free to invite me again if you feel like it. But when that happens, allow me to politely refuse, okay? He intentionally spoke in a mocking tone, but Beato showed no reaction. Valor hung his head and clicked his tongue. He circled around October 4 and 5 over and over again, but I finally just had enough of this role. This way the boat will come tomorrow. That's right, and the seagulls will return to the harbor. I'll finally be able to hear Rokenjima's signature nya-nya cries. After all, maybe because of the weather, they weren't there at all when I came to the island. When the seagulls cry, everything will end, I guess. All done. The end. What a relief.
Exactly what is it that you're misunderstanding?
What'd you say?
I said that nothing would end. With this, everything will be abandoned. The game will be forgotten, and the pieces on the board will be abandoned as they lay. There will be no advancing or returning, no taking and being taken, no victory, no defeat, not even a tie, just abandoned.
Doesn't that mean it's over?
Wrong. On my turn, the game will stop for all eternity. Your turn will not come, so there will be no victory, nor defeat, nor a tie. In the past, I couldn't let you do that. After all, one of my goals was winning against you. However, I've lost interest, so there's no longer any point in making any moves any longer.
What do you mean by my turn not coming? I thought that Beato getting tired of this game meant I'd be released and that I'd be able to escape Rokenjima. But for some reason, Beato repeated words about the difference between abandoning the game and selling it caught my attention. Just what is it she's saying and why the bad mood? At that that time, I suddenly heard a voice from behind me. When I turned around, there was someone I thought I might or might not remember from somewhere. A mysterious girl with no light in her eyes was standing there.
What this kid's saying goes something like this. She means putting the lid on this game and leaving the pieces as they are. The game will be locked away for all eternity without ending.
The only way for you to return to your original world is to win against Beto. So if Beto abandons the game, get it? Suddenly in a different place, a girl wearing bright pink was there, and I had a feeling I'd met her somewhere too, but I couldn't remember. More importantly, was the meaning of her words, if the game is abandoned, then, huh?
That's right. A match won't be resolved unless enemies and allies meet. It would mean that you'd never be able to win and escape from this world for all eternity.
What it comes down to, I guess, is something like taking the key to the cage that you're locked in, fastening it to the collar of a pigeon or something, and letting it fly. This isn't funny, Beto. We didn't come this far to watch such a boring game. Calling it a day like this is no joke.
I agree with Lambda. I came here to make Balor win and to make you writhe in defeat. I still haven't achieved that goal. I won't stand for you abandoning the game at a time like this and running away. I acknowledge that would mean the curtain call for a game that disappoints you ladies. However, I, the host of this tea party, am fickle. Once it's lost its fun, I know no way of entertaining. I believe that's my witch-like way of doing things from the very beginning. There are no problems, yes. Certainly, I won't go against your creed.
I won't accept it! Quit fooling around! How much do you think I've supported you? You think I'd be okay with this after all this preparation? Don't mess with me!
I'm saying that I'm tired of it. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's not gonna fly. We'll have you continue this game. You wanna win against Balor, right? You wanna win and make him surrender, right? You're almost there, aren't you? Am I right? Don't ask me that. But I have an opinion too. Let me say it.
What?
This is a fight you picked. I'm prepared to settle this once and for all. I've come close to surrendering many times, but I've never had any intention of escaping partway through, leaving the match undecided. Since I'm here, showing the will to fight, you better not run away, Beatrice. I agree. Getting Balor involved and leaving without giving him victory or defeat is just too irresponsible. Suddenly, even Gretel was there. Everyone was calling Beato irresponsible.
Huh. It seems I'm mostly being called irresponsible because Balor will, as my opponent, be stuck. In that case, Balor, will you step down from being an opponent as I shall? That way, I will have done nothing worthy of criticism.
If I step down, will I be able to leave Rokkenjima?
There's no chance you'll be able to leave. Just be covered in dust and let it pile up on your shoulders.
Quit fooling around. What an irresponsible person. You've killed such a large number of people. On top of that, using a witch's power, you've done it over and over. Killing in gruesome ways. I definitely won't let you escape without taking responsibility.
Responsibility? What is it I should do to take this so-called responsibility?
Fight until a resolution is reached. Balor will sit in the chair across from you, never giving up, and fighting until he beats you. So you too, fight until you're defeated. If you don't try like that, and defeat Balor... Oops, if you don't like that, try and defeat Balor. I won't forgive you. If you leave everything unresolved and abandon Balor in this chair, locking him up and never letting him return, I won't forgive you! Gretel. To be perfectly honest, I didn't really understand from what standpoint Gretel was trying to save me, but in her words, I could feel a strong determination to save me from this insane game world no matter what. So I responded in kind. Beato, face me. I am here, across from you, in the seat of your rival, get it? As long as I continue to sit here, I won't allow you to escape. So don't escape, fight. Isn't this a fight you started? You did all that crap over and over, and making a complete mess of things. How could I let you end it just because you're tired after all this time? I'm your opponent! As long as I'm here, I won't let you escape! Are you listening, you irresponsible witch? Try saying something! After I yelled at her, Beata went silent for a while. Whether my words had reached her, or whether she was thinking about something completely different, I couldn't tell. But for a while, she was silent, gazing at me with an expression I could read no emotion from. And when she realized that I noticed, she averted her gaze. Then she turned her back to me and said this.
So since Balor will not quit as my opponent, the ladies are saying that my abandonment of this game will not be acknowledged. In that case, let's ask. Let's see if the man over there is qualified to be my opponent in the first place.
Qualified? Probably has something to do with that test or whatever just now.
What are you planning to do?
Don't tell me you're...
I will now determine whether or not you are qualified to be my opponent. Ready, battler? If those qualifications are acknowledged, I will stay in my seat and continue the game. And I shall promise to fight for all eternity until the outcome is decided.
I was ready for that from the beginning.
However, if you are not qualified, you must disappear. If the opponent disappears, there is no game. I can leave this place openly. Are the ladies satisfied? Interruptions will not be necessary. Go ahead. Do as you like.
Battler, you make sure you answer well. The very reason I'm here is because I'm qualified, right? There's nothing to be scared of.
You couldn't be.
Gretel suddenly grew pale. I thought her to be calm and collected, so this expression surprised me.
Well then, battler. Shall I have you repeated in red?
You're telling me to repeat something? Damn you stealing my signature move, but I can use the red truth too? How? If you wish for it to be that way, you can do it. It's easy. My name is Ushiramiya Balor. Whoa, pretty cool.
Stop it! I know what you're after, but stop that! He's...
When Gretel yelled, Beato glared at her. Then her form was wiped away in an instant.
Shut up. Leave your seat for a while. You too, ladies. If you interfere, I will not hold back. We won't get in the way. Go ahead. Do as you like.
Burn, this is bad! She's trying to erase Battler! What's that? What's she planning?
Well then, I shall question your qualifications. Interesting. Attack and defense are reversed from a normal game. This is a very precious experience, coming at the very, very end. Ready? Listen carefully. I will speak with the red first. I am the Golden Witch Beatrice. I opened this game in order to fight with Ushiramiya Kinzo's grandchild, Ushiramiya Battler.
I know that. So what?
Repeat it. Ushiramiya Battler's mother is Ushiramiya Asumu.
What? Why is Mom's name popping up all of a sudden?
I do not require channeling. Just repeat in red.
Beato urged me with the same indifferent tone. I don't have a clue what she's trying to do. I have absolutely nothing to feel guilty for that would trouble me if thrown in my face, and there's nothing I'm hiding. There's nothing that could trouble me by demanding that I repeat it. So why do something like this? Sure, I'll repeat it. Ushiramiya Balor's mother is Ushiramiya Asumu. The rest sure is convenient. No need to bother myself with bringing a copy of the family register.
Idle chatter is unnecessary. Let's continue. Your name is Ushiramiya Balor.
Sure, my name is Ushiramiya Balor.
It was from Ushiramiya Asumu that Ushiramiya Balor was born.
It was from Ushiramiya Asumu that Ushiramiya Balor was born.
It was from Ushiramiya Asumu that you were born.
It was from Ushiramiya... At that time, my throat suddenly closed. I was rapidly assaulted with a choking suffocation. What's going on? One more time. It was from Ushiramiya Asumu that I was born. Damn! It was from Ushiramiya Asumu that I was born. What the hell? Even though I was doing it so easily a second ago, I suddenly stopped being able to get the red to work.
Do you refuse to repeat it?
I'm not refusing anything! It's not working for some reason! It was from Ushiromiya Asuma that I was born! Why? Damn it, why can't I use the red? What the hell? My mom is Ushiromiya Asumu, right? Why can't I say that fact in red? What's going on? This is...
If you try to forcibly speak red that cannot be spoken, you choke. There's no need to strain yourself. Allow me to use the aforementioned fact to press you in blue. Do you remember? The blue is used to proclaim a theory for the opponent to deny. They are then burdened with the responsibility of denying that in red, and if they do not, it becomes your victory. Then let us begin. Due to my previous demand to repeat and your subsequent refusal, I proclaim that you are not qualified to be my opponent. After all, Beatrice opened this game in order to fight with Ushiromiya Kinzo's grandchild, Ushiromiya Battler. This gave you the responsibility as my opponent to declare in red that you are Ushiromiya Kinzo's grandchild, Ushiromiya Battler. You refuse to repeat that. This means the loss of your qualifications.
Deny something about it in red! Quickly! Sure. I'm Ushiromiya Battler. Because I can say that in red, I should be your opponent.
It may be a fact that you have the name Ushiromiya Battler. However, people's names are not exclusive. There's a possibility that multiple humans have the name Ushiromiya Battler. In short, this is what it means. You are a different person with the same first and last names as Ushiromiya Asumu's son, Ushiromiya Battler.
What did you say? Don't be so stupid! My mom's child! Ushiromiya Asumu's child! It was from Ushiromiya Asumu that... Damn! Why? Why can't I say I was born from my mom? How could something so stupid be true?
No need to suffer. I will not toy with you. This is checkmate. You are not Ushiromiya Asumu's son.
What?
You're kidding me! Who are you? What person calling themselves Ushiromiya Battler?
Wait a second! I am Ushiromiya Battler! It was from Ushiromiya Asuma that I was born, and I'm Dad Mom's son!
No. There is no way that you are my opponent, Ushiromiya Battler. But this is proof.
Proof, you say?
You do not know of that sin 6 years ago.
That's...
No. The true Ushiromiya Battler would not have committed a sin. But a sin did occur in the end. That span of 6 years became a blank space. And a man who knew nothing of that time took the name Ushiromiya Battler and appeared on Rokenjima. That truth goes like this. 6 years ago, my opponent, the true Ushiromiya Battler, was already dead. You were part of a plot by Rudolph, having something to do with the distribution of the inheritance. A body double set up in Ushiromiya Battler's place.
How could something that stupid be true? That's so ridiculous! Battler! Get a hold of yourself!
Well, if you can't counter back, there's nothing more to do. Battler did not possess that qualification. That's how it is.
Are you okay with that, Bird? If you accept that, you'll lose too, right?
Won't you win? Why are you taking Battler's side? What a shame, Battler. What a real shame that you didn't have the qualifications to be Beatrice's opponent. I was careless myself, betting on an unqualified piece. It's my utter defeat, Beatrice. There is no victory or defeat. The opponent will simply disappear. Or perhaps I should say that he was never there to begin with.
But then, who am I? Am I not Dad and Mom's kid? Who am I? What am I? If I'm not Mom's kid, then what are you saying? I'm a kid they picked up somewhere like a stray cat?
If that is the case, it would mean that you do not share Kinzo's blood. Either way, you are not qualified to compete in this game.
You're kidding me! You're kidding me!
Enough. From the very beginning, I was faintly aware of the possibility that you weren't Ushiromiya Battler. So I had to question you. I had to ask you about something the real Battler would have known. What a shame. I even bet in a 1 in quadrillion chance of a miracle that you might really be Ushiromiya Battler. But it seems you really are a different person with the same first and last names.
Bit by bit, Balor's form began to be clouded in darkness. No, maybe it was the other way around. The whole world was clouded in darkness, leaving only Battler. Balor was down on all fours, hanging his head and repeatedly questioning himself. However, he was not given an answer. In the world stained with darkness, Beto spoke something, and Lambda Delta ran up to him, yelling something very quickly, but it already seemed very far away, and it didn't reach Balor's ears. Well, that's why they erased Sanji. Then he, not knowing who he himself was, erased himself. Yeah, she probably did know too. Battler! Ah!
Now my opponent has disappeared. Well then, if you excuse me. And ladies, you should get ready for your journey. No more festivities have been prepared for in my territory. It was good seeing you. Goodbye.
Without saying anything more, she clouded her own form in darkness as well and disappeared. Are you okay with this? Balor disappeared, right? I know how much you hate losing. Are you okay with this? Really?
Weren't you betting on my defeat? Good for you then. Congratulations, Lambda. Let's meet again in some other world, okay?
Well, this is a world of endless frag... Oh, wait.
Oops.
Well, she always uses dirty tricks like wordplay, so...
Well, this is a world of endless fragments. The chances of us having some connection again somewhere are probably less than 1 in quadrillion. Anyway, it was fun. Bye-bye.
Wait up, Bird! Chasing after Burn Castle, who disappeared first. Lambda Delta disappeared as well. After that, everyone was gone, and the study was now completely empty. It returned to the silence, almost as though no one had been there from the outset. No one was here in the first place. The silent study spoke that wordlessly, and the sound of the wind and rain began to fill the room bit by bit. In a world where everything had sunk into darkness, Beato questioned herself.
As I thought, from the very beginning, magic should only have been used within Mariage Sorcière.
Seems so. I also thought that with Angie.
The Witches' Alliance is you and I. It started with those two. Including other people was our first mistake.
It's just so fun. We wanted to add someone close to us into that circle. And we wish that all the Witches' Alliance would get really large. And that everyone would be able to use fun magic together. And that we all be happy.
However, only you and I were able to understand magic after all.
We are the only 2 witches in this world who were brought together by a miracle. And now, as long as I have Beato, I don't need anyone else.
Me too. As long as you are here, I don't need anyone else anymore.
In the very first moment that Mariachi Sorcière was formed, it was already complete.
That is so. That is truly so.
It was once a Witches' Alliance to make everyone happy together with magic.
I wonder when it all got this screwed up.
What did I want to do when I started this game? I can't even really remember even that. No, I may remember. But that's a feeling I now wish to throw away to the far side of oblivion.
It's okay. Wait.
It's okay. Why not forget everything? Let's have a mariage sorcier for just the 2 of us. We'll acknowledge each other and no one will hurt us. So we won't be hurt. We won't cry. Let's forget everything. Hey, Beto! We are eternal.
Maya.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I think I figured out a way of how to talk about it. And I'll just, like... Wait, somebody might watch through... Oh, wait, never mind. Oh, well, yeah, we'll have to wait. Okay, the world 12 years later, October 1998. Okay, I guess we can talk about that in episodes. Oof. All those other things. And then... Alright. Let's see. Oh, hey! It was Shiramiya George. His corpse was found in the Rose Garden Arbor. There was a single hole in the center of his forehead. It was probably reasonable to assume he was shot with a gun or something similar. It's a brand of humiliation marking his defeat to Gap. Whoa. Angie can't stand this song. Beatrice, the endless witch who has lived for 1,000 years. She is known for being exceptionally cruel even among witches. Okay, hold on. This... Okay. Maria... Okay. Huh. I see. They kicked everybody out, so they can't see it anymore. All right. Hold on. Okay, how about this? I tried to talk about... No, I can't. Yeah. All right. Oh well. Yeah, it might give too many. I don't want to like have it figured out. All right. Well, I guess that's all tonight because. Yeah, I'll finish. We'll read more tomorrow. I'm planning on finishing on Friday and not on Thursday because that'd be a lot of reading. Anyway, night.